Okay, I received the message. The recording started right now, but I will not repeat everything that we have already said. So, I was mentioning the certification bodies. So, the second example is given by Italy, where we have a certification for the production manager professional certificate, and this is instead still in progress, and this will be approved by the Commission in November, not the European Commission, but I mean the Commission that approved the CHEPAS certificate. And then we have also another process ongoing in Denmark concerning the aerospace, the aviation sector. So in this general frame, if it's clear, we have different products and different services, and all these products and services are addressed both to companies and to schools. So what could be an advantage of a school, for example, to implement the Skillman results? So, first of all, you have curricula that are the result of an investigation on the future manufacturers, not on the current one. So what the consortium has done is to analyze the future technologies, the technologies that will be implemented in the factories in the next years, and has built a new curricula basing on the future needs, not the current needs. That's very important, because normally when you design a new curricula, you try to answer to a current need. What's happened here? To share your webcam. I don't want to share anything in this moment. Okay, but I think you see my video. No, start my video. Okay, again. So the curricula that has been designed try to be a sort of forecast on what will be needed in the next years, and are not an answer to what is currently needed in this moment in the factories. That's an aspect very important for the school in terms of advantages, because it's a strategic approach to allow the school to implement now what will be asked tomorrow, and not to answer implementing now what was asked yesterday from the companies and from the industries. This means that when the school go to implement the new curricula, will find aspects that normally are not included in the current curricula. And this is a very important point. So to implement this curricula, also the trainers has to be in a way trained or identified on the market, has to be able to implement the innovative curricula. So the innovation pass through the school and not is like a consequence, but is provoked in the company, because you are going to implement innovative curricula that will allow to the company to introduce new workforce that is prepared for the future. So we are talking about, for example, not only robotics, that is very well known, that is an innovation in continuous innovation, but for example, we have talked about the material, the innovation through the special materials that are not yet very fully implemented, but they are asked by the market and the trends in general concerning also the energy savings and the environment protection. So all these needs, all the companies try to answer to all these needs, implementing new solutions. But if we don't have a workforce that is prepared to work in this field and meanings, of course that the innovation in the companies become quite difficult. So the Skillman try to answer to this need, and the school could take advantage introducing very innovative procedures and contents in the school pathways. I don't know if someone resisted online. You have 3 unread messages. I tried to check if Fabio Croce was also connected.
Good morning.
Ciao Fabio.
Good morning, Giovanni.
Because using the telephone is more difficult to understand if people are still online or not. But now I'm trying. This app works very well. I see that we have a lot of participants. I see Fabio Croce as a presenter, and then I see that there are even additional participants that when I started to talk were not online. So I'm very glad that we have all these interested colleagues to share with them our efforts and our project results. So I also see you. So this app is really fantastic. It works very well, and I think that we have to implement more to diffuse the Skillman content. So I don't know when you, Fabio, entered in the process, but I start to analyze what are the possible advantages for a school submitting the agreement to implement the Skillman results. This is, I was saying, also a chance not only for the school, but for the companies, and special attention for the companies that own a training department and implement continuous or initial training. Especially I'm thinking to the companies, for example, in Germany or in Austria, where the dual training is very well applied, and we already have a collaboration, for example, CSCS with BASF or Siemens, and they are, of course, a good candidate to implement the Skillman curricula. So after this, I also underlined that the results that the Skillman put on the table are not only the curricula, and especially I talked about the innovation character of this curricula, but I was also underlining that in the materials we have the professional certifications that are a result. And then I didn't say yet, but then I will give you the floor. We also have, of course, the job positions that are defined in coherence with the European database of professional profiles, the ECVET database, that is well connected to Skillman deliverable and results. So Fabio, more or less this was the introduction, I would say, but the time maybe is going to finish, so the floor is yours with your reactions, and of course we have to give information concerning the Skillman conference, please.
Thank you, Giovanni. Thank you so much Fabio speaking. I'm sorry I'm not able to connect with my video because I am experiencing a low band connection. But thank you very much, Giovanni. Sorry for being late. You already told about a lot of aspects in Skillman. I would like only to remind which are the partners of Skillman. So I'm just showing in a very few slides what is the Skillman consortium. So as already Giovanni said, we are under an Erasmus Plus project. This is a sector skill alliance with three kinds of bodies from each country. The countries which are connected to the Skillman project are from Italy, UK, and Denmark. From each country, we have at least one educational provider, one sector representative, and one accreditation body. Particularly, we have from Denmark, the Tekniske Enderskole Center, from Italy, ECVET itself, and from UK, Birmingham Metropolitan College. These are the educational providers which are connected with the sector representatives from automotive, particularly from Scandinavian Airlines, Centro Ricerche Fiat from the Fiat Chrysler Group, and Jaguar Land Rover from UK. In Italy, in addition, we also had the National Council of Research, so Consiglio Nazionale delle Ricerche, CNR, which is providing very in-depth expertise in new technologies and new skills required by the new. And finally, we have accreditation bodies for the certification process in the specific country. From Denmark, United Kingdom, and Italy, you can have a look of the specific bodies which are involved in the certification process. Because as Giovanni already said, one of the aims of the project is to provide, of course, innovative training, but also to provide accreditation, certification respectful to the European qualification framework and the ECVET system in order to provide innovative training recognized in all countries, not only in the UK, Denmark, and Italy, but also in the other European countries. This is why we are also providing webinars, and we will provide, we present all the contents of the project during this international conference, because our aim is also to have a big dissemination in the other countries and in the countries of targeted countries. Sorry, my presentation is going somewhere else than I was trying to do. So I'm coming back. I was saying we are trying to present all our contents in all over Europe, because our intention is to have a dissemination, a wide dissemination among all European countries, and to provide these free tools to all the school, technical school, university areas, and of course the sector representatives, in order to share with them all the tools we have provided, both in terms of procedures, of curricula, of open educational resources. So coming back to what you were talking about, Giovanni, the Skillman conference. The Skillman conference will take place in San Sebastian. I'm going to share you my screen with the Skillman conference.info.
Fabio.
Yes, yes, Giovanni.
May I suggest you to move the small window in the bottom right, please, because I suppose it's the preview that you have there that we can see. Right? Yes.
So I can close it?
Yeah, that's one, yes. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. So you should see now the skillmanconference.info, yes, which is our website in which you will find all the detailed information for this event. Again, it will be hosted in San Sebastian by Tecnica. Tecnica is an external partner, so they are not involved directly in the content deliverable, but they are a very important institution, technical school in Basque Country, and they will be.
May I add some word about Tecnica?
Of course.
Webinar participants, because I think it's very important for the ones that doesn't know this institution. It's a very, very important institution based in San Sebastian. San Sebastian is a touristic city, beautiful place on the sea, and the institution Tecnica is owned by the Basque government and was created to introduce innovation in the ECVET, vocational education and training sector. This is a very, very important and very good initiative that this region has taken, and I think, in my modest opinion, that Tecnica is one of the most innovative institutions and approaches that we can find not only in Europe concerning the ECVET sector. The innovation behind Tecnica model is very simple, but it's in a way similar to the one that we have implemented also in Skillman. And this is the reason why I was interested to give this additional information. As I was telling that Skillman produced an innovation introducing innovative curricula in the school, so with the aim to send students that own innovative competencies in the companies, provoking innovation. In the same way, the Tecnica model is similar, because Tecnica model foresees the possibility of the companies to ask for technological solutions, to identify technological solutions on the market. So the companies go to Tecnica and ask to identify the solutions that they need, and then Tecnica has the mandate, as soon as they identify the technological solution asked by the companies, Tecnica has the mandate to make training of the trainers. So in this sense, Skilman is not a school, but is a meta organization up to all the schools, VET schools in the Basque countries, and is in charge to introduce innovations. The innovation identified basing on the requests from the companies, has the duty to introduce these innovations, organizing and deploying training for the teachers of the VET schools in the public VET schools in Basque country. This model is not quite common. I think it's unique. I know it's a big noise now that I can hear. Someone can switch off the microphone maybe. So this model is very innovative and very effective. It has to be known, because during the conference there will be also time to visit the Tecnica facilities. They have a very modern and good solutions for training of the trainers, and it will be possible also to see, visiting their facilities, how they think, how they design the training of the trainers. You are still on?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much, Giovanni. We are I would say, honored to be hosted by Technica, because your presentation clarified that they're not only location, they are moreover contributors to our project, and I'm sure there will be occasion to share more dissemination activities with them and with all the participants, because we already know that several schools from all Europe applied to our call for participants in terms of teachers and of researchers, not only from our three involved countries, I mean Italy, Denmark, and UK, but also from other countries. So coming back to the agenda of our conference, you can see that on our website we are publishing the first agenda, the program. The content details will be fulfilled as soon as possible, but the overall agenda regards a morning session, a morning general session with the overview of the content of the project, in which we will present the final contents in terms of curricula, of methodological guides for teachers and trainers, open educational resources which have been uploaded on web learning platform, and again a lot of other documents and details that we will present during the morning session. The morning session will be also the occasion to discuss together the forthcoming development of skill needs in automotive sectors, because as you have seen in the beginning of the presentation, we have addressed the focus themes that have been individuated by the representatives from the automotive sector as the more challenging ones. So it will be an open there will be also an open discussion to discuss with professionals, both from industries and from vocational training contexts, to discuss those kind of future lines in the very forthcoming years. And then in the afternoon we will have parallel workshops in which we will go in deep with specific contents related to our Skillman projects and to the challenges of the automotive industries. So we will discuss themes like the new industry and production 4.0 innovations in terms of automation of manufacturing industries. Then we will have a workshop on robotics applied to the industrial processes of the automotive sector, and the composite materials. Composites have been particularly addressed inside our consortium by the Danish partners and by the aviation industry. But of course we know that there are a lot of improvements also in the automobile sector, so this is an innovative aspect that is being growing and growing day by day. So this is an overview, a very simple overview of what we are going to do also in the afternoon. We will have also final ceremony to present some awards that have been done during the project, because during the project we have also done a lot of piloting. So this is how we call our testing session for training, for trainers. We had real classrooms which have experienced the real activities, theoretical and practice activities in all those three fields. So it will be also an occasion to present the results of these activities and to present the final curricula that have been designed by a joint work from trainers and from industrial representatives. So this is, I would say, a very short presentation of what we're going to have on the 8th of November. We still have some free room So please apply again to the register now. You can see here the call for action. So you will redirect to a form in which you can put your names and your contacts, and we will come back to you to provide all the details for the participation. We still have some room available in our accommodation in San Sebastian, and we have still a very few grants available for get some refund in terms of flight tickets. So please apply as soon as possible, and we will come to you back to you as soon as possible. I think that
Fabio, sorry, Fabio,
so,
may I?
Yes, Giovanni.
I would like to just to stress one point that I think is interesting. We have just said that Tecnica is a good destination to be visited concerning the innovation in the VET sector. So what could be the advantage and the result for one participant that decide to join the conference? So in this regard, I would like to ask you, I think that there is a link up to the program that we are looking now, or below, I don't remember, that brings to the list of speakers. And if I can ask to, click here to see the speaker list. So I would like to ask to Tiziana, I don't know if Tiziana is connected or not, but because in the list she appears, but I didn't hear yet her. So this is the list of our speakers. So Tiziana, could you comment a little bit what is the kind of stakeholders and participants and of course keynote speakers that we are collecting to the conference? Or if Tiziana is not connected, maybe Fabio, you can do it. I don't know. Tiziana, are you on? We hear some, but
I think that Tiziana has some issue, some trouble with the audio connection, because I can see she's connected. Okay, so I will come
the question to you. Yes, thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Giovanni, for the question, because first of all, I can clarify 2 points. First of all, during the conference, and even previously and after the conference,
there is a message from Tiziana. She is writing, can you allow me to speak? Tiziana, if your microphone is connected, you can speak. Otherwise, maybe the problem is your internet connection. So we don't hear you. So please, Fabio.
Yes, while Tiziana is
on the screen. Yeah.
While Tiziana is trying to connect with the audio, I will just explain that we are also interested to build a network of institutions which are interested in using the results from Skillman. So we are also proposing on our main website, which is Skillman.eu, to become a partner, a free partner without any cost and without any other consequences, apart the fact that you will be able to use all the provided under these Erasmus programs. So first of all, during the conference, you will have the occasion to see which kind of content you can use and adopt in your context. And of course, if you will adopt
Fabio, can you hear me now?
Yes, Tiziana, welcome. We can hear you. So
okay.
Please
feel free to go on. The phone. Okay. Okay. If I may add something regarding the conference, as you can see, you have here the list of keynote speakers, and we have representatives from VET providers, from industries, and also from certification bodies. And as you can see, we have a very big names as keynote speakers, and that can give us the picture of what's going on in this specific sector, and especially regarding all the innovations, all the innovative actions that we can do, linking industries to education patterns. And for example, you have here Caterini Silla from ESCO Secretariat. She is a skills taxonomist. She's very expert regarding the job profiles and the competencies for the new jobs in automotive, but not only, and also on European policy regarding the employment sector in general. Then we have, for example, a representative from Gestamp, and also, as you can see, from all the partners, of course. And if you can go down with the screen, we are going to. Okay, just to have a general picture, we have experts from industries that work with innovative materials, composite materials, and also from universities from all over Europe, and also from Turkey. And yes, I can hear you very well.
I would like to ask, which countries are we covering with our stakeholders and keynote speakers?
Okay, from Turkey to, of course, Italy, Spain, French, United Kingdom. Then we have, okay, it's difficult to say for bodies that are international, but in any case, we have persons from EXPO and so on. I can't hear you very well. I'm not sure I have correctly understood your question.
Yeah, I was minding if we also have received, for example, interest, expression of interest from other countries outside Europe also?
Yes, of course. We have received a request for the participation to our conference from Africa, for example. And just to give you an idea, and also from countries that are not European countries. Yes. Of course, there is the problem of the permit. They have to ask the permit to travel to Europe, but we are positive. We think we can solve this problem. But the interest is very, very high regarding the topic of our conference. Hello?
Fabio.
Okay, yes, sorry, I was muted. I had muted myself. So thank you very much, both to Tiziana and to Giovanni. I think that we can open the microphone or the chat box to participants to make any questions, both regarding the overall project or the participation to the conference. But of course, I remind to everybody to go on skillmanconference.info or to Skillman.eu, which are our two main websites, and you can have all the contact details both for me, for Tiziana and Giovanni and the other partners connected to the project, and to make any questions you'd like to do. So first of all, please feel free to make any question if you want. Meantime, I will remind you that well, I haven't shown the Skillman.eu, so website in which you will find the draft of our conference, and you will find the final products of the project. The project will end by the end of this year, the 31st of December. So we will publish all the documents in the very next weeks. But of course, we are confident that also after this deadline, you will be able to contact us and to share your real experiences in your classroom, so that we can demonstrate that our contents have been used also in other contexts, and we will be very happy to provide all the assistance to this kind of job. So I don't know if just...
Yes, I would like to add something, because, for example, I think that in the list, for example, of requests that we received, we have to mention that if we have different continents involved in this, and I think we also received from Pakistan or something like this, but I was asking to Tiziana, maybe she didn't understand very well for the connection problems. The voice was not running properly, but anyway, I think we have received requests for participation from various, not only countries, but from various continents. It's important to understand that the innovation in advanced manufacturing is not something interesting only for European companies, but is a worldwide interest that we are dealing with. Another aspect that I would like to underline is that at the conference there are participants that are not only the keynote speakers, but stakeholders from companies and schools, and the conference is a good occasion to meet each other, to exchange ideas and best practices, and to create networks. So for this reason we have a lot of requests from universities, from high schools, and from companies. There is a request, I think, as you said, there are still 3 places, but I hope that this request will be all satisfied, because we are very glad to have the possibility to host everybody in the conference. The one-day conference, we give also the possibility to celebrate our ambassadors. So it's important to know that the invitation is not only for the speakers and for the stakeholders, but there are also our ambassadors that are relevant persons that can well represent Skillman principles all over the world.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Yes, and last thing, another thing
Giovanni,
that I was... Yes?
Go on.
Okay, so another thing that I was interested to let the webinar participants to know is to well identify what could be the advantage for school or for a company to join, and what are the possibilities to join and to take advantages of our result of the Skillman project and Skillman Sector Skill Alliance results. So I would be clear, I would that we are clear about this. There is the possibility for companies and for schools to undersign the agreement, the Sector Skill Alliance agreement, to join the consortium and to get advantages from the consortium product. So please be aware that it's not only the participation to the conference that we are talking about, but is the possibility for all of you to join the consortium and to take a direct advantage from the Sector Skill Alliance. So you have the possibility to apply for the conference participation. You have the possibility to apply to join the Skillman consortium and to have the services that we can provide to you to implement the Set of Skill Alliance results and materials and training units in your school or in your company.
Very much, Giovanni. We have two final questions. One you have, I think you have already given an answer, because the question was what my school has to do to use the content of Skillman project. Well, as you have said, the project is producing free contents, but we kindly suggest all the schools to apply to become a free partner of the project, so that we can also provide assistance and guidance to how to use the concepts of the project. And thanks to the participation to the international conference, you will be able to see in deep details and best practice of the usage of the content of Skillman. But of course, you can also use it by your own in your contents. Just please provide feedbacks in terms of successfulness or suggestions to the usage of the contents. Then the other question from Gianni is if the conference is open to university students. Of course, yes. I mean, we are not only talking about teachers and professionals from industry, but from anybody who has real interest in both in terms of automotive sectors and in teaching guidance and methodologies and how to build innovative curricula. So we already saw that several university students from engineers or even other kind of sector fields of study are applying, as well as teachers from any kind of schools, not only technical schools, because they are interested in having an overview on how to build a new curricula together with industries from any kind of sector. So yes, feel free to apply. Please only remember that the target of our final curricula will be a target of the ECVET system, the European Qualification Framework, from the third to the above qualifications. So we can say from the high school to university studies. We had already received the interest also from teachers and trainers of the lower qualification systems. From high school, they are asking if they can participate to have an overview. And we have already presented in a very big context here in Italy, in Didacta, the Skillman project. And we have realized that a lot of teachers from the other schools, technical schools or high schools, are really interested in this kind of project. So I would suggest to teachers and students to participate, even if you are not strictly connected to the automotive sector, because I'm sure you will find suggestions and solutions also for your context. So I think that we can come to an end, because we have done a very long webinar. So many thanks for your attention. I don't know if Tiziana and Giovanni, you want to have something in your conclusion?
No, just to thank you all the participants, and then to ask them if they have further questions to write us, to contact us through mail.
Thank you very much to everybody, even by my side. I was very glad to have the possibility to share my impressions on the product and on the events that we will take part in the next days.
Okay, so thank you to everybody. I hope to see you soon in San Sebastian and to have your feedbacks from this webinar and all our contents. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you, Giovanni. Thank you, Tiziana. Please feel, as Tiziana was saying, to contact us anyone, and as you prefer. Thank you again, and goodbye. See you in San Sebastian. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Bye.
San Sebastian. Bye.